What's up guys, welcome back to CS2 Daily. I hope you're all doing well today. We have got a busy one. Heroic bench Grix just after a month and bring in Alkaren on loan from Spirit Academy, and then we'll go through all 4 games from today. The MongolZ edging ENCE, Aurora sweeping FlyQuest, Vitality absolutely crushing NRG, and Heroic taking down Complexity. We'll wrap it up with the bounty picks for tomorrow's matchups, so don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so before we get into today's matches, it's a bit of a brutal turnaround for Grix. He got benched from Heroic. He only played 2 events, Fisher Playground 1, where Heroic bombed out early, and IEM Cologne, where they actually had a decent Stage 1, before collapsing in the Stage 2. His ratings tell the story: 0.95 at Fisher Playground, 0.79 in Stage 2 of Cologne, but a respectable 1.19 in Stage 1. Heroic basically said, "We've made a lot of moves lately, but not all the pieces fit like we hoped," and pulled the trigger early. Alkaren comes in replace with solid tier 2 numbers, 1.10 ratings since joining Spirit Academy last year, plus wins at both LAN and LAN events in 2025, and Heroic even have the option to sign him permanently. But here's the kicker: he can't play Blast Bounty because of roster lock rules, so they are going to be using the Academy Oppa Scrub as a stand-in for now. It honestly feels like Heroic are still scrambling to find the right formula, and whether Alkaren's the answer, well, we'll see when he debuts at the Esports World Cup. But with them investing in Grix and then benching him so early, you've got to think it's something more than just having a different vision. Alright, kicking off today, ENCE went up against the Mongols, and it was a bit of a roller coaster. On Mirage, the Mongols came out swinging, kicking off with this 200 IQ clutch from Techno, and I swear every time I watch this guy play, he pulls off a crazy clutch. Really great player. But that was the catalyst for Mongols, and with that momentum, they end up jumping to a 10-2 lead. A really impressive T-side in the first half, but ENCE didn't go down without a fight and replied with 8 rounds of their own. But unfortunately it wasn't enough, and Mongols closed it out 13-10 with 9-10, and Techno putting up some really good numbers. And then we go to map 2, which was Dust 2, and it was ENCE's turn to hit back. After going down by another huge deficit, 8-4, they flipped the strip on CT, winning 9 of the next 10 rounds to steal the second map, closing it 13-9. Really great job from the guys, and that set up Nuke as the decider. And Mongols locked it in from the start. They led 7-5 with what I thought was going to be a nail-biter to finish the last map off, but Mongols denied me of that and didn't drop a single round on their CT side. Taking it 13-5 in a dominant fashion, knocking out ENCE. And then we had FlyQuest versus Aurora with JKS and Xantares back on the rosters, and kicking things off with Inferno, and this map Aurora started out hot, including this disgusting 3k from Woxit, but after that it was a back and forth affair until overtime, where Woxit took over again, dropping 40 kills and locking it 16-12. Then on Nuke, Xantares and Wakardia ran the show, shutting down FlyQuest's T-side completely, taking it 13-6. Aurora advanced with a clean 2-0, Woxic ending the day with a 1.42 rating and a very impressive showing. Really solid performance from Xantares coming back as well, and just everyone from Aurora looking really solid, man. Which leads us to Vitality versus NRG, and this was pure dominance from Vitality. On the Mirage, they jumped out to a 9-3 half and never looked back. Zyru was in full MVP mode, dropping 21 kills in just that map, and it definitely felt like he shaked off whatever it was that was hindering his performance at Cologne. But at the same time, we're all allowed bad days, or, you know, maybe that's debatable considering the caliber of play he is. I guess it depends who you ask. But then we had Dust 2, and this was even more one-sided. Vitality's T-side tearing through NRG setups before closing the map 13-4. Zyru finished the series 38-11 with a 1.76 rating. Flames following him right underneath with a 1.45 rating. I mean, all doing a great job, to be honest. It was what you expected from Vitality. And then lastly, we had Complexity versus Heroic, and Complexity actually started strong here, taking their train pick 13-11 off the back of big games from Nyx and Grim, who combined for 45 kills. But Heroic hit back on Ancient, storming to a 9-3 T side and closing it out 13-6, with Tanir and Nilo both putting up huge numbers, including the nice clip here. But then we head to Overpass. And yeah, this one was a nail biter. Complexity led 8-4 at the half, but Heroic CT side locked it down, taking 9 of the last 12 rounds to win 13-11, closing out the series for Heroic, making it 2-1. This was also with Scrub filling in, and he did a decent performance. I felt like he didn't hinder them in any way. Um, just played decent. Bit of a rough one from Youngster, but all in all, pretty solid. So that concludes today's matches, and as a result of that, the bottom half of the lower seeded teams will now become the bounty hunters, and the top half of the higher seeded teams will now become the most wanted. And the teams got to pick who they wanted to play. Astralis chose the Navi, which will be tomorrow. Virtus Pro chose FaZe. G2 surprisingly picked Spirit, and they were one of the first picks too, which actually really surprised me. But they feel like they have something up their sleeve, so that'll be interesting. And Liquid chose Furia. And then on the Sunday, we have Pain versus Pain that chose to play MongolZ, Bait that chose to play Mouse, Heroic that chose to play Aurora, and Legacy choosing to play Vitality in a revenge series, which will be very, very exciting. Although this one will be on LAN, our Legacy still feel like they have the upper hand, and they're rolling in it pretty confident. So it would really be interesting to see if Vitality get their own back on Legacy this time. But yeah, that concludes everything for today. If you want more news like this, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care.